If you're in the market for pens, take it from someone who knows it's about quality, experience, and believe it or not, how it affects your handwriting. I'm Hava, a girl mildly obsessed with office supplies, and today we are looking at my 4 favorite types of pens.
This is an episode of Worth the Money, a show where I give you honest recommendations for products and services based on my own experiences that'll be useful on the path to your dream life. With a degree in marketing, I especially love good branding, and wasting money never feels good no matter how much of it you have. I've received amazing recommendations from others, so now I'm paying it forward by giving you mine.
That's right. In this video, I'm giving you my top 4 favorite types of pens because I couldn't narrow it down to just 1, 2, or even 3. I've used all 4 of these pen types for several years, so let's get straight into it. I'm gonna briefly touch on each type of pen so you can see why it's awesome and I still continue to use all of them. These are Pilot G2 pens. They're rolling ball gel pens and they last forever. I think this is the first pack I bought, and although I've had 1 or 2 colors run out, I am just now starting to run out consistently of ink in the whole pack. And the writing has been so smooth the entire time. There's been no skipping till the very end of their lives. Also, as you can see, we've got a really good selection of colors. And this is nice because I can create aesthetically pleasing journal entries without switching types of pens. Because sometimes I do like to mix and match texture on a journal entry, but sometimes I want to change color, but I don't want to change texture. And you'll understand what I mean by texture when we get into other types of pens. The last thing I want to mention about these pens is that they have clips, and these clips are really strong. They will hold to whatever I put them on. G2. Next up, Stabilo .88 pens. These are felt pens, and as you can see, they have a very, very fine tip, also hence the name .88. I think that has something to do with it. I clearly have tons of colors, so I highly recommend. Also on that note, this holder is amazing. I found it on Amazon. Of course, I'm gonna link it below. This was the only thing I could find like it. Most of the time you're gonna get a pack and it's great. This is a bit more of a splurge because I have so many colors, but a lot of times you can even buy these individually. I've gotten them individually. In fact, this holder comes with a little zipper pouch. I'm not sure what most people use it for, but I just discovered that at one point I bought an extra pen color that's not in the pack because this is not even all the colors, and I put it in there. This is a brown. I have other browns in the pack, but this brown is a little bit of a different shade. It's kind of in between, so I'm very pleased with the color collection because obviously I can do so many different combinations, which I love, and also it makes me feel artistic because the felt just gives me a little bit of marker vibes. And another thing about the felt is that it gives me a little bit more control when I'm writing, so it actually improves my handwriting a little bit more than gel pens do. The next type of pen I use is Papermate Flare pens. These and the G2 pens I know are really popular, at least in America, but I'm gonna actually start this off by talking about the fact that these are felt also. So why do I have 2 different types of felt pens? Because I told you the Stabilos are also felt. Well, the thing is, these are fine tip felt. These are medium tip felt, which actually having a medium tip gives me even more control. So I would say my handwriting is even more controlled with these pens. And it's good to have medium tip pens too because all of the others are fine or super fine. So it's just really helpful to have that extra option. And like with the other felt pens just make me feel artistic because they feel like a marker in a way, except more refined. Now let's talk about Pilot Frixion pens. I like the clicker pens more than the cap pens, but obviously they do sell both. And actually, I've been using them since before they even sold clickables, which is forever ago because they've been selling clickables forever. I've even been using them since the only colors they sold were black, blue, and red. I'm seriously an OG Frixion user, and I've been using them before everybody else even knew they existed. The big draw for these pens is that they are erasable without leaving residue behind. That was a major breakthrough when they came out, that you could erase and have it be a pretty clean erase rather than still really seeing the pen behind it. The name Frixion is derived from the word friction because the friction between the eraser and the paper creates heat, and that's what causes the ink to disappear. Story time! When I was in 9th grade, I used Frixion pens for my biology notes, and one day I was studying outside. It was a beautiful afternoon. I went in to use the bathroom or get a cup of water or something, and then suddenly while I was inside, it started pouring, getting all over my notes and textbook and everything, so I quickly hurried and ran inside with all my stuff. My mom and I went into the bathroom, we quickly got the hairdryer, started drying my notes, and then all my words started to disappear. Imagine if all the writing that you had done suddenly was going away, like magic. It was so crazy and alarming because those were my notes I was studying for a test. Then we put my notes in the freezer and the ink actually reappeared. Crazy story. I know it's a little bit of a tangent, but I couldn't not share, and it gives us a little bit of a window into, again, how these work. It's not necessarily the eraser, it's the heat created by the eraser. As far as the freezer part making it reappear, I have no idea. Anyway, Frixion doesn't have as extensive of color selection as the others I've mentioned, but they erase. I personally don't mind the fact that there's limited colors anyway, because my main purpose for this is my calendar to color code it, and I'm only using about 5 colors in my system right now, so I don't really need so many colors. The nice thing about it is, you see, if I used regular pens and then the unexpected happens, as it often does, then I would be scratching things out or using whiteout, and it would start looking really messy. But the nice thing is here, I can just erase but still have color coding. Otherwise, I could either choose to have a potentially messy, overwhelming calendar, or only writing in pencil, which I use pencil for tentative plans. It's part of my color coding system. In addition to being the only one that erases, this is also the only option I've mentioned today that has refills. Now, technically, I know the Pilot G2 pens have refills, but I've only seen them for the black. Even online, I've only found it for black, and as you know, the rainbow is very important to me in my pens. So it's just environmentally conscious because I can rebuy ink without having to replace the casing each time, so it saves a lot of plastic. And if you feel like the Frixion pens are basically the best thing ever, then you should know also they do have highlighters. This video is not about highlighters, but I figured I'd let you know in case this is a brand new discovery for you. If you just need the bare minimum, something to write with, you do not need pens this fancy. This is an investment, but for me, it's one of the small joys that really enhances my life. It gives me a way to bring creativity and color into my life on a daily basis. And as someone who dreams of living a creative, happy, colorful, fun life, this is one of those small things that can make a difference. So, I would say it's worth the money. If you're interested in any of the pens I mentioned in this video, the links are in the description below. It is an investment, so before you go out and buy something, if you have a question about anything I've mentioned or anything I haven't mentioned, please drop a comment and I am happy to help you out however I can. And if you want to hear about something else that makes my life better, drop a comment and let me know what that is. To watch other episodes in Worth the Money, click the playlist that'll pop up at the very end, and to see fun New York City content, click the link right up here. Please go ahead and like this video, subscribe to this channel, and turn on notifications, and please join me on Instagram. Let's chat. You'll see me in the stories, daily content, and also you can send me a DM just to connect and say hey. If you're still here, thank you. You're the best. Can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye.